like that for me, that was my story. So they're like, "Well, Hannah Montana." Yeah, I'm like, "Nope, I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is." But I sure enough went and auditioned, and 2 weeks later, boom, that's how that happened. But it was a relationship connection because of my relationship with this individual. You know what I'm saying? That kind of connected the dots. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
so
sir.
I'm big on relationship. Like I'm very big more than just what I'm gonna get out of it. Like it, you know, it's more like, yo, just a quick, simple check-in. You know what I mean? Like that's why I can appreciate people like Pig Funk. You know what I'm saying? Eric Smith.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I don't go to him asking for, man, can you put me on, man, with Layla? Can you? It ain't even about that. You know what I'm saying? Like Pig drove over an hour or whatever it was when I went to Cali to just come and break bread and just have lunch.
That's dope,
you know what I'm saying?
Man. He dope like that.
Somebody with a resume. You know what I'm saying? With a resume who wouldn't play with just about anybody. You know what I mean?
God.
Like, so I take that stuff to heart. Like that means a whole lot more to me than that gig, like, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that's my 2 cents on that.
Yeah. No, and to kind of piggyback off of that, you know, it's guys like Pick Funk and Boucher, you know, that era of musicians that would literally like, hey, let's go break bread, which in our generation was like, okay, that's the blueprint right there. You know what I mean? Because if we all didn't have, if you don't have your bass in your hand or whatever instrument you play, who are you as a person?
Right.
You know what I mean? That like, who are you?
Yeah.
Like who are you? You aren't the bass. You know what I mean? You're Frank, you're Tim, you're Snoop. Who are you?
Right.
You know? And that's what people want to be around. You know what I mean? Like I can tell you now.
Yeah.
And in my entire professional career, I've auditioned for one thing my entire and that was back in 2006 when I played for JoJo. You know what I mean? That was it.
That was actually
everything.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
Everything that I've done thus far that God has allowed me to do has been based off of relationships.
Wow.
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean? I got on with Israel because somebody put a bug in Israel's ear. You know, and then from there, you know, being able to play on this record and being called for this and called for that. When I played with Neo, that was a call from somebody. Relationship. You know what I'm saying? Never even met in person. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
A shout out to my homie Edwin. We never met in person. He was a fan of my playing, and he had a relationship with Aaron Lindsay, and Aaron Lindsay had a relationship with him, and was like, hey man, I can't do this particular run. I'm thinking about Justin. All relationship. You know what I mean? So everything that I've gained in my professional career has been from relationships. Hasn't been from auditions. Of course, you have to be good at your craft. Of course,
right.
You get when you get the call, be ready. You know,
you gotta show up and work.
You gotta show up.
Get ready.
Don't get ready. If you're gonna play, if they ask you to play, you know, solid, simple, play solid and simple. If they ask you to go, be ready to go. You know what I'm saying? So like,
straight up,
you have your stuff together, you know, when the call comes. But what's going to keep the calls coming, or just keeping up that opening relationship, and not even just for gigs, just, you know, working with companies, working with people, working with business people, working with financial people. You know what I'm saying? Like relationships that's the thing right there. Relationships, you can have a whole forum
straight up.
But
and let me add this too, Justin. Like for the last maybe 6 years, bro, Justin, every time you come into Orlando, you always reach out. And me and Justin, it has maybe one time we had like it was me, you, and Levon. We did like a little shed or something once. But for the last 5-6 years, we always went and got something to eat. And just talk about life, just talk about whatever. So like I just was like, man, that's an honor to be able to. I mean, every time I got that, I'm like, wow, this dude don't even want to talk bass. Like let's just be cool. You know what I'm saying? Let's just talk. Let's break bread and let's, man. So shout out to you, bro, man.
Bigger than bass.
That stuff right there go a long way, bro.
Appreciate
you can play so much that you don't even want to don't even turn on no music. Just
Right.
you like you could play so much. Yeah, absolutely.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
What about you, Snoop, man? What's your take on relationships, man? What have they been to you, man?
Said exactly the sentiments of what I was going to say, and yeah, everything they said, I completely agree with. It's important. It's important to, and I talked to a lot of people about how just having a good attitude. I think I remember Frank hit me up a while ago. It was years ago when I was playing for Fred, and I remember, I forgot what we talked about, but like I thought about that the other week. I was like, dude, I hope I was, cool and everything, I hope I was cool and everything. And you never know how things come full circle. You never know how things come full circle. It's like now.
Crazy thing is, didn't even know that I'd have the opportunity to do what Snoop did. That's what's crazy about that.
That's crazy. And it's all about treating people right. Just treating people right, not the whole superstar thing. That's so whack, man. This is so whack. This is like, because everybody's gifted, everybody is blessed to do something, and it's like, even if you have a dope gig and it's still God was the one that blessed you. And I'm probably getting into other questions, like other things you want to ask, but yeah, just it's good to just have a good attitude, so that way you can relate to people, and it's like, man, he can play, but he's a jerk. Like I don't even want to be, I don't want nothing to do with him. He dope, but he's a jerk. He's a jerk,
That's on that, Jack.
Shout out to Josh Easley. I saw Josh Easley on here, and Jamie Schultz. There's two others. Play everything, man. But dope, man. Yes, sir.
Somebody just asked a question on here. It says, "How do you manage relationships in marriage while on the road working?
How do you manage
relationships?"
Yeah, I guess I'm guessing they trying to say relationship, like your relationship or marriage while on the road.
That's
easy. I mean, you gotta, if you're in a relationship, then what happens on the road, that should phase you. I'm saying you go out there to do a job, and you go back home. It's easy. That's easy.
Straight
like,
up, though.
It's not a complicated thing. No, that's not to say that there isn't temptation, but it's not worth it.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I agree. I concur.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay. So, one thing is, what financial advice would you give the upcoming musicians?
Man, oh man.
Rack your coins, save it, be smart, man, about it. And if you're in a situation where you get per diem and stuff, man, look, be wise, man. If there's catering and you can actually deal with the food they provide, man, go for it, man. Go for it. Like, because then it makes me question. It's like, I know we have to address it, you know what I'm saying? Because it's out there. There's people that for them, it's just, man, I make it and let me just go ahead and you just spend it and whatever. And it's pretty much what it looks like. Man, I'm out here just making all this money and let's just whatever. But, man, when you learn to be a good steward of your money, man, you can make it work. You know what I'm saying? You can definitely make it work, because, man, just like a lot of things, there are dry seasons, man, and you just never know.
Yeah.
You just never know.
The pandemic.
We just like the pandemic. There's a lot of people that depended on that tour money, and but guess what? We had to activate some other areas because that wasn't happening during. Ain't nobody was out there really touring like that. You know what I'm saying? So just got to be smart, man. That's all it is. Just being a good steward. I'm not even going to get into the biblical aspect of things, but it's like, just do right by it, man. Like, just knowing how to manage. And if you have an issue managing money, then maybe that's something that you may want to consider trying to seek help and guidance. You know what I'm saying? It's just like practical life stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, not just music, like just across the board, man. Like just across the board, knowing how to make $100 stretch if that's what you have. or
Yeah,
or
man.
whatever. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, like
Right about
educate
that.
yourself on finance. Like don't spend all your time in the shed. You know what I mean? As far as just music, educate yourself on, you know, what you want to do. If this is what you want to do for a living, you know what I mean,
right.
this is how you want to pay your
Yeah.
bills. This is how you want to provide for your family or provide for yourself. You have got to do your due diligence and invest in yourself. So just like you would invest and go buy a DVD on how to be a better bass player,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, go to the bookstore and read up on how to budget. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
Like Frank said, knowing how to
Yeah.
stretch $100, knowing how to, you know what I mean? I've got this check because let's say people on tour, because not a lot of people get the touring experience. Some, you know,
Mm-hmm.
some work at church, some do local gigs,
Yep.
some work with the symphony orchestra, some work in Broadway. You know what I mean? Everybody works in different
Mm-hmm.
places.
Yep.
And when you get that check, you know what I'm saying? Whether now you said you don't want to go too deep into the biblical principles, but that's like life principles.
Yep.
Saving,
Yep.
investing, giving.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like
Right about
there
that.
are non-believers that give, and it comes right back to them because
They understand
Yeah.
the principle.
it's a
Yeah.
life principle. You know what I mean? But financially, strictly
Yeah.
financially, knowing how to, I get $100 for me. I'm a tithe 10. I'm going to put another 10 away, and
Yeah.
I'm living off of that 80. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if you really want to go there, you live off of 50, and you put that
Yeah.
30 somewhere else too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like, it's a discipline thing. It's a
Yeah.
living beneath your living beneath your means. You know,
Yeah.
if you're trying to
Absolutely.
save,
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
I knew it's gonna happen. It's gotta happen at least
Yeah.
one time, right?
and then, you know, yeah, educate yourself on finance, educate yourself on credit. You know what I mean? It's like
Oh man.
Man,
educate
oh
yourself
man.
on all of that. You want to buy a house, you want to buy a car. Of course, you can, you know, get a big dig and just buy it in cash and stuff like that. But which is cash is better. But
Mm-hmm.
in order to like live
Yeah.
in this world that we live in, you know what I'm saying? In
Yeah.
order to rent, they're gonna check your credit. In order to get a
Yeah.
house, they're gonna check your credit. If they get a car, they're gonna check your credit. To get a phone, they're gonna check your credit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like
Yeah.
educate yourself on you know, financial literacy. And just like we talk about music, it's on social media. It's on YouTube.
Correct.
It's
Yep.
in a
Yeah.
book.
Yep.
It's in a book. Go to the
Yeah.
library. Go
Mm-hmm.
to the bookstore. Get a book on
Yeah.
how to invest in yourself.
Yeah.
Financial literacy, music, business, all of these things. Like, don't
Right.
be lazy. Like I don't want to
Yeah.
generalize a set of people, but since the social media era that we're in, and it
Mm-hmm.
my generation too,
Yep.
you know what I'm saying? We've become lazy. We've become, you know, I need to know how to do this. Bam, let me go to YouTube.
Right.
I do
Yeah.
it all the time. You know what I'm saying? But it says
Yeah.
something to step away and go get a book and teach
Yeah.
yourself. You know what I'm saying? Or if you don't,
Yeah.
ask. Open your mouth.
That's it. Mm-hmm.
Like, hey, I need help budgeting. Hey, I need
Yeah.
help saving. Like, what do you do? What do you do? Open your mouth and
Yeah.
ask people stuff. You know what I mean? So, all right.
Mm-hmm.
Man.
Yep.
Off my
Man.
soapbox.
Man, you have
Well, that's some good knowledge.
you
Right there. You
absolutely
gave some
right.
good
This
nuggets.
credit cards, all that stuff, that'll get you in a lot of trouble. I mean, but if you know how to use it, you know how to use it, it'll work for your benefit.
It'll benefit.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
And I think about all the stupid things I've done in my 20s with credit cards that followed me through my 30s, you know,
Yeah.
and yeah, so it's like even
Doogie.
something so much as getting an iPhone. You know, I'm Apple crazy, and I would, and this is, you know, anybody that wants to, I remember, man, Darius Fentress, he's on here. I remember he told me a long time ago, He said, man, I will never finance a phone again in my life. Never. I was like, okay. But I was like, but it was me having to have it then. I gotta have it now. I can't wait. I gotta have it now. Gotta have it now. And I would tell myself, like, moron, if you save up, what if it take you 9 months to get it? They're gonna come out with a better phone next year. It's gonna be a whole better phone next year. So I stopped financing toys and phones and stuff, and this is just me, it's just me.
Right.
And it's really because I'm older now. Like I'm old. I'm the oldest one on here. I'm getting AARP mail. I'll be 40, dude. I'll be 42 this year. I'll be 42 in August, man. And I got a IRA account that I'm putting up for retirement and just stuff. Like I gotta start. I used to be the youngest guy. I used to be the youngest guy in every band I played for. I'm Uncle Snoop now, man. I'm Uncle Snoop.
Yeah.
I'm Uncle. I'm in my 40s. People is telling me, man, I watched you when I was growing up. I'm like, I watched you play for Fred when I was growing up. I was like, that was like 7 years ago. How old are you? Like I was 13. I was like, oh my God, it's just time is just going by. And it's like I was that young dude, and like now saving and having good credit and number one, absolutely what you said, paying your tithe and your offering first, and that's the key. That's got to be first. Don't put tithe and offering off till you pay off your bills. No. Set God's money aside first, and watch how He will just open up. I'm telling y'all what I know. I'm telling you I'm not telling you what I think. I'm telling you what I know. This whole pandemic, everything after what happened with this pandemic, no church, no nothing, and God still sustained all of us, man. And it's because we put Him first. And like, see, they even saying Uncle Snoop. That's because they saying Uncle Snoop. But yeah, it's you definitely have to be wise with your money. You can't just go crazy with what you got. Just go crazy spending, getting sneaks and stuff and all that. And I said that just about the phone because that was one of the things that I had a problem with. I had credit card bills mounting, but I had a new iPhone. I had a new iPad, and it's like, what sense does that make? That makes no sense. And like now, getting all that stuff taken care of and prioritizing, it makes it where it's living beneath your means, like you were saying. It's you look on social media and you seeing all this opulence and everybody's got all this, driving Bugattis and all this stuff. Everybody ain't living like that. Some people lying. And so you can't, and to the ones that really can't afford it, hey, God bless them. And I admire what you're doing, and I'm gonna study you. I'm gonna watch what you're doing, but you can't get caught up in all that you see on social media because a lot of that ain't real, and you will kill yourself trying to keep up with that. So live within your means. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing to be ashamed of about that.
At all. Good brother Zeke from Chicago, Zekology.
Cold-blooded.
That's a bad
He just asked a dope question.
Man, oh man.
Bad brother. He just asked a question. He said, what's the best ways to become less dependent on church jobs as a musician?
What's your niche? That's easy, man. Like everybody. All right. So me and one of my best friends, Carl McCullough, drummer, amazing drummer.
Yeah.
Best friend of like 19 years since college, man. And we would get into these like random deep conversations, and he said something. He was like, man, everybody has their own fingerprint.
Yeah.
Nobody has the same fingerprint as another person, not even twins. And think about the amount of people there are in this world. Like we are designed by God. What is God? God is a creator. We are supposed to be creators. We are supposed to create. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, what is it that you do that you're good at? You know what I'm saying? You're amazing at. You know, entrepreneurs and e-commerce people, they talk about it all the time. You go into a grocery store, how many brands of bread are in the bread aisle?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And they're all making money.
Yep.
You know what I mean? All of us here, there's 4 different bass players here. We all have our own sound. We all have our own thing that we do.
Yes,
We're
sir.
all making money in what we do.
Right.
What is it that you do? Music is so vast. You got music production, music education, music business, music therapy, music synthesis. You know what I'm saying? Like, what is it that you do? And it doesn't even have to be music. Like, what are you good at? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What is it? What is it like that thing that you are just, I can do this in my sleep. I don't mind teaching it. I don't mind sharing it. I don't mind making it into a product. Whatever that particular niche is, you tap into that thing and you put it out there. You know what I'm saying? Like that. That's what works for me. I've been a teacher since I was my son's age. I've always been the kind of person to share or let me really dive into this particular topic so that I can, whenever I explain it to 4 different people, I can break it down 4 different ways.
Yeah.
And so that we get to the ultimate goal of what the topic is about. You know what I mean? Like, but that's my passion. You know, teaching is a passion of mine. Just like being on stage, that's a passion. Music all around is a passion of mine. You know what I'm saying? So, so I've got different niches, you know, that I can pull from that ultimately you can turn into a product and you share your information. You know?
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to give away free information, but at the same time, don't give away everything for free.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I've gone through sleeping in a train station, you know, gone through playing gigs and getting paid $65 to fly here and fly here. I went through a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Right.
Yes.
Sir. I went through a bunch of stuff in my life to be able to get all of this information and gain all of this knowledge. Now,
none of it was
I
handed
don't
to
mind giving out nuggets like, hey, watch this, watch this, watch this, watch this. But some of this stuff you're going to have to pay for because I pay for it. You know what I'm saying? You pay for it, you pay for it, you pay for it.
Yeah.
There's certain things that we took our time to really, like, why do producers buy the Steven Slate, you know, monthly whatever? Why do producers pay Avid Pro Tools a month? Why do you do this? Why do you do that? Why do you do this? Because they've already did the work. They've already done the work. They make it easy to all you got to do is just hit a button. But you're gonna pay to hit that button because they've already. You know what I'm saying? So all that being said, man, find out what your niche is. Find out that thing that you are amazing at that people will come to you for. And
yes, sir.
Yeah, I gotta agree with you. You nailed it, man. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So here's an interesting question. It says, is it important for a musician to have social media presence in order to be successful? I say no, but
yes and no.
Yes and no.
Yeah, I say yes and no.
I know some musicians that you wouldn't even know they had a social media presence, and they are very successful. You know what I'm saying? But then I know some people who use social media to their advantage. You know what I'm saying?
Prime example. And you're right. I know a few cats that ain't even on Instagram. But that bank account is sweet. And they kill it. Right. But I think it just depends on like what angle or what's it being used for. You know what I'm saying? Or you want to just be limited to just this and social media. I think it's because it's now you got a lot of like companies that they look for that presence. You know, now if you come across a gear company that's saying, hey, well, we want to check out your social media presence. In that regard, perhaps, you know, they want to see what your influence is, or they want to see what your, you know, those who are connected to you, to see what your presence is. And so that may be an important factor for them. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't necessarily mean that's all it takes for you to be successful.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
It's a part of it.
It's a part of it. You know what I'm saying? It's a part of it. It's like, for instance, YouTube. Like, I think you have to have a certain amount of subscribers before you can even have access to certain things. You know, stuff like, you know, you got to know these things and use them to your advantage, because it helps in one area. It's not saying that that's all it is. And it's not just about making videos and just having this, just being social media, like being popular, social media famous. It's not just that. There are some good things about it, but if you're that one that just think that that's just what it is, well, good luck with that. Unless you're getting paid and all that kind of stuff. Like, if that's all it's about for you, good luck with that. You know what I'm saying?
Because I mean, you just said it. You just said it, man. Because I know there's people on, because it also depends on which social media platform. There's people that are on YouTube that don't post to Instagram, and YouTube is their bread and butter. You know what I'm saying? Like
that YouTube, Julia girl. It's a chick. That Julia, it's a bass player, female bass player. Huge on YouTube, but she's nowhere to be found.
Nowhere to be found on Instagram. She's not on IG.
But she's probably one of the top ones on YouTube, killing the game, like making videos and probably getting paid that guap.
You know what I'm saying? So it really depends. Like there's once again, educating yourself. There's documentaries on social media, on influencers. Now, we're just talking about us as musicians and posting up there. But if you really dive into Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, it's a whole different world. If you really know how to use it, man, it can be extremely beneficial. Once again, it's just knowledge of it. But to just agreeing with what Frank is saying, like, don't let it be just that one thing, unless you're getting paid, unless they're like like they do like a stack a day. You know what I mean? To post it. Like, yo, this is what I do.
Hey,
that's how I make stuff.
Absolutely, like, it's word of. I agree with everything else. It's definitely, it is and it's not. You know, you could definitely use it. Word of mouth is still the best way of advertising, and like it's a place. It's a place here called Family Video, and you know, it's just a neighborhood video store, and they still doing DVDs and stuff, and like, word of mouth, the community keeps that place open, and it's like, I look at how Kern Brantley, he's another one. See, that's what I'm saying. Forgetting the name people. Kern Brantley, another one. Him and his brother Valdez. Like, they. If social media was back in the 90s when they did oh my gosh, like, they did everything, and it's still that, you know, word of mouth is the best, the best way of advertising, relationships and everything. But social media is definitely And at first, I wasn't really into it. Like, it took me a minute to really get into it. But, like, how I saw how just I could, you know, just get, like, lessons and, you know, kind of have people. I can't tell you how many tracks I've done for people hitting me, just DMing me.
Yo, real quick.
Oh, my God.
Real quick. So, somebody got to hop off just real quick. As a matter of fact, I'm going to start a new live.
Okay.
We're going to be on for like 15 minutes. Just so the special guest can hop on with us.
All right, cool.
All right.